hello Sanjay. Welcome to Oddballs and Outcasts. Thanks for making this long trip for me. You've come all the way from Nigdi. So, how long did that take you?
Yeah, 2 hours to be. I think it was 2 hours max.
It's taken you 2 hours, so you're a true
Yes.
fan of the show.
Yeah, it was you. That's why I came all
Thanks,
the way
man.
from
And it was
Nigri,
at,
man.
I think it was pretty last notice, right? 2 days ago I told you, and here you are.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yeah, and today I came to know that you have a podcast. Can you tell me, like, what? Why did you choose this name? Actually, I was just
So
curious.
I basically wanted to interview people who are not normal, like they're a little odd, like they are just crazy a bit.
Hmm.
And I think you're perfect for that
Oh,
because I've worked with you for a couple of years and I know that you got that little eccentric side to you. And that's what makes you an interesting host. So then here you
yeah,
are.
it was actually great covering sports, rather football with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually
I think
good.
you've been one of my inspirations in terms of covering local football. Like initially, I was just covering international football, but now when you're here, you showed me why the local issues are important, and we're going to get into that a lot. But
Hmm.
before we do that, why don't you introduce yourself?
Uh, Friends, my name is Sanjay. I've been a journalist since 10 years. I've into print journalism since 8 years. I used to work with Sakal Times. I used to cover sports, local sports to be precise. And I've covered local football extensively, written about them, and other sports as well. I used to cover motorsports, ISL, IPL, Pro Kabaddi League. I've had good memories. And now I've moved away after Corona. I've moved away from print and I've explored other things. Now I'm working with a magazine.
So you've realized that print is a dying industry, and you stepped out of it at the right time.
Not dying, but yeah, dying slowly.
Dying
It'll
slowly.
not die now, but
Yeah.
eventually that will be the case.
Because I think there are still people, a certain age group that still prefers reading the newspaper every morning and all that. So I think there are people who are catering to that kind of audience.
With smartphones, everyone has access to smartphones,
Hmm.
and people read it the moment it happens. Any
Yeah.
news, be it an accident on the expressway, or somebody hitting a century, or somebody, some politician speaking something else.
Yeah.
Even if it are those are memes, or those are short videos, you
Yeah.
get it instantly.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to wait for the next day to read what
Absolutely.
happens. So
And with WhatsApp, like things just spread so quickly. Like if there's an accident, supposing half an hour ago, it's going to reach everywhere, and by tomorrow that news will become old because there'll be so many
yes,
developments by the time that the news
yes,
reaches the people that it'll
absolutely,
be pretty old news.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I think what newspapers are doing these days is they are also, putting their stuff out online, and they are constantly updating the story. So in a way, that keeps the newspaper intact and also ensures that they retain their users via social media or
Yes, yes.
via.
In fact, what you read in the paper, the same news when you see it online, it has some more aspects to it
Yeah,
also.
absolutely. And do you think Sakal Times did that when you were there, or what was it?
Yes, it started doing that, but the moment they were digitally aware, and things started getting interesting.
Hmm.
I think Corona struck, and they
Yeah.
had to shut down.
Yeah. So what was your experience like at Sakal Times?
Sakal Times was a crazy experience, massive. My first journalism job, which I owe a lot to Sakal Times. I started in 2012. I from day one I used to like cover local sports, and you need to have good bosses.
Yeah.
And thanks to Mr. Kirti Patil, whom you know because you've worked there,
Yeah.
he gave me excellent opportunities. My first flight I took when I was in Sakal Times, I got a junket. I don't remember. Yeah, I it was IBW, India Bike Week.
Okay.
Harley Davidson had invited, and that was my first flight. And because of journalism, I got an opportunity.
Yeah. And
I start
you love bikes, so that was perfect for
yeah,
you.
bikes and cars, so perfect for me.
Yeah, I remember even they had sent me to Indore to cover Baha,
Yes.
the car racing for engineering colleges.
Yeah,
That was
as
a
in,
pretty
we
interesting
covered
experience.
motorsports actually extensively,
Yeah,
actually, because of
Mr. Kirti. Yeah.
yeah, he used to get a lot of invites, and we used to equally distribute it
Hmm.
amongst ourselves. And be it motorsports, be it car launches, bike launches, or any other event related to sports or auto,
Yeah.
we used to make it to all the parts of the country. So these eight years from 2012 to 2020, It has been massive. It has been a good experience.
Yeah, and I feel Mr. Kirti has also helped us a lot in terms of growing as journalists, right? Given the contacts he's had.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So what would you say? He's been your best editor so far?
Be best boss, you say?
Best boss
Yeah,
so far. Yeah. He actually
definitely,
didn't seem like
definitely.
a boss.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, no one at Sakal seemed like a boss. I think the second day I came, I called you sir, and you're like, I don't want to be called sir, and it was always on a first name basis.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that was a really good experience, and you covered football extensively at Sakal
Yes.
Times.
So I before Sakal Times, I did my event management,
Yeah.
and through which I got into Pune FC. And earlier even I never followed Pune FC football.
Yeah.
And my first stint with Pune FC
What
as
were you
an event
doing?
manager.
What were you doing at Pune FC? Event manager.
Event management. So
Okay.
from my event management college, we were sent to do an event at Pune FC. We were told that a national level match is happening in Pune, and you're supposed to go and volunteer there.
Yeah.
And tabhi I was not following football, but uh, the first day there, and we come to know someone called Bhaichung Bhutia is going to play a national level football match is happening for the first time in Balewadi. So then I came to know about Pune FC, that an I League team called Pune FC is going to play the I League.
Yeah.
And no, I some memories come really trickling in my mind right now. Like the first day, it was raining, it almost, I think, half time it rained. Pune FC was playing East Bengal. Uh, the stadium was almost full for the first game, and then everybody was there to see only one person, Bhaichung. So
Was Sunil Chhetri not there that time?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
And now he's become your good friend.
No, man.
But
Not
yeah,
really.
tell me about your Pune FC experience. Did you join when the club was established, or how
No,
long
no, no.
after?
I did not join when the club was established. I joined when they started playing from their first game itself.
Okay.
So that time I was a volunteer,
Mhm.
and after a few months I went on board, and they took me as a event manager.
Okay. So what was like the
Like
journey of being at Pune FC?
uh,
Like,
Pune FC was all into marketing, helping the team on their preparing for the games, selling the tickets, and connecting with sponsors, a lot of stuff.
but as a new club to help them grow in a city where football is not prevalent, everyone talks about cricket here. How challenging was that? I think Pune FC was the first proper established team in Pune, right? That is playing in the I League.
Yes. So see, for a place like Pune, I mentioned to you some time back. Even if there's a local cricket
Yeah.
match happening in maybe say PYC, there is crowd,
Hmm.
and the same thing if there's a football match happening, there's not much crowd.
Yeah.
So it was the same at that time with the sponsors. Maybe you approach someone, you say that you're from a football club. Can you keep the tickets for selling, or can you tie up with us? They had reservations.
Hmm.
So there were people like, अरे cricket होता तो हम सही में देते.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of challenges, but they did well.
They did well for.
In the initial years, in terms of crowd, they managed to pull in crowds, but later it dwindled.
So they played at Balewadi, right?
Balewadi,
And that
yeah.
had a capacity of around 9,500.
Yes, maybe lesser.
So how much would you say was getting covered on an average?
See, initially when they started playing, I think 5,000 was an average crowd, but later that started growing down.
Yeah. And these 5,000 people, were they paying for tickets, or how many of them were getting free? If you can just put a rough estimate.
See, I think not many were paying. It was all since it was football. Nobody wanted to pay. Everybody was asking for free tickets.
That happened even when I was covering the ISL. A lot of friends of mine were asking me, can you get me VVIP tickets and all of that. And very few people were actually supporting the club. But we'll get to FC Pune City later. So then Pune FC, where do you think things started going down? Like apart from attendance, what else was going wrong?
They were doing quite well. They were the first like professionally managed club in India, you could say. And everything they did properly, but dwindling interest, I don't know, support from the federation, maybe where they went wrong.
Okay.
It was what I feel is it was mainly due to the crowds not supporting.
Okay.
if you see an IPL match which takes place at Gahunje,
Hmm.
you'll have a full stadium. People are fighting for tickets.
Yeah.
But a football match happening at Balewadi, which is, you can say, inside the city, nobody takes interest. People say that it is far. So,
But
it
is
depends
this?
on people also. Now, see, Kolhapur, currently, a local match is attracting crowds in thousands.
Yeah, that's cricket.
Football.
Football.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the name of that league?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you can have a look. It must be something the Premier League there, whatever.
No,
Kolhapur Premier League.
a local event in Kolhapur actually.
Local
I
event.
recently saw in the news.
Okay. So any like well-known players are playing there, or it's all completely local?
See, from the past 3, 4 years, I'm not following sports now because
Yeah.
since I've changed
Yeah.
the profession. But I keep seeing news and reading about it. So I'm a little aware of it.
But why do you think Kolhapur and not Pune?
Kolhapur has had a football culture since years.
Oh, has it?
Yes. In fact, I always thought that Kolhapur is the right place to have a I League or an ISL club.
Okay.
But I don't know why it did not happen.
I think it's not really a metropolitan city, and they felt that they couldn't get in too many sponsors in such a city.
The crowd there is amazing. Wait, I'll just check.
Yeah. Because I feel that, Pune as a city is growing. It's an educational hub. There are a lot of industries setting up here. So I think for that reason, maybe Pune seemed like a good destination. Did Kolhapur ever have like an I League club or something that way, or they never did?
No. I don't think so.
Okay. But how did it become like a footballing city? Because I've not heard. Has any player made it to the national team from Kolhapur?
I think there was one.
Okay.
See, even if on Google, if you see, you'll get a lot of articles on why football is famous in Kolhapur. So maybe later you can just
Yeah.
you can Google and
I
can
have a
just
look at that,
have
yeah.
a look at that.
Because that's pretty
So
interesting.
you not know about this?
No, I didn't. I
Oh.
actually didn't. Yeah. Like most of my coverage on football has been very local in terms of Pune, and I really didn't know about Kolhapur being that hub for football.
It is very famous.
Yeah.
Football, even a local game. As I said, there people come and watch.
That's really interesting. So then Pune FC, you're saying because of
Crowd.
Because of the crowd.
Crowd not coming in.
That's the main reason.
Yeah.
And you? Yeah.
And the owners are pumping in money. Obviously, they'll expect returns. And here, I don't see the owners getting returns on their investment. So maybe because of that also, that would be one of the reasons that they chose to shut shop.
Short shop. And were you still at Pune FC when they
No,
shut stop?
no, I was
so
not.
you had left.
I had left by then.
So I think the reason they shut stop is because you left. You need to go back. You need to get football back in Pune.
Maybe we could have a Pune FC reunion. Man.
We could actually reunite all the teams in Pune. Just make one super team, pump in all the resources from everywhere. I think some still have their academies. I think Shivajians still have their academy going. So we can just pump in all the resources and make a super team. So I think this is the start of it. You and I are going to be the founders of this new club. But yeah, FC Pune City, that's where I started, getting into local football. That's where I started working in, this industry.
Oh, so you were covering matches for FC Pune City, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so I worked with them as a volunteer in terms of their ticketing for a season. But apart from that, I've been reporting a lot on them. So I was reporting with Sakal Times, I was reporting with Hindustan Times. So the first season, there was a lot of excitement in terms of the marquee players. But then FC Pune City, as many expected, didn't do really well.
Yeah, I remember David Trezeguet.
Yeah. Like that's a big name in terms of people who follow football. You had Del Piero at another club. I think it was Delhi.
Yeah, Delhi Dynamos.
Yeah, so you had all these big names coming, and it seemed like football was heading in the right direction. Like how supposing China was doing, and now how Saudi is doing. Like they are getting the big names and they want to promote the game. So it seemed like it was heading in the right direction. But then, what do you think happened along the line? Where did it fall apart?
In this case, there was a lot of money. Again, since that time I was just a journalist. I was not associated with them, but again, you're dwindling attendance or no attendance at all. Yes, people might have gone for a few matches, but again, no support from the crowd.
Because there was a good machinery behind it. I saw a lot of celebrities there. They were backing clubs. I think Ritik was at Pune. Then Arjun Kapoor entered the fray. You had Abhishek in
Yeah,
Chennai.
because even like I had this experience where I had gone as a viewer. People were coming to watch Ritik Roshan or Arjun Kapoor,
Yeah,
and people like the IT crowd or the other crowds, when a celebrity is walking past, they were more interested
yeah,
in that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they were not interested in who is playing
In
and
the
what is
football,
happening.
yeah, yeah.
The music is playing, people are dancing. It was kind of a break for them.
Yeah, I knew a friend who is a huge Sachin fan, and
Hmm.
when Kerala was playing Pune, he messaged me. He told me, "Is Sachin going to come?" So I tried asking people who I knew, and then they told me that he will be coming. So then what he did was that is the reason he spent 2,500 on a ticket, and he got tickets for his entire family. And Sachin didn't end up coming. So rather than enjoying the football, he was
Yeah.
disappointed at the fact that he couldn't see Sachin.
Yeah.
So I think
So people actually don't care about the game. They care about the atmosphere and the party. No, it's a party for them.
yeah.
So which doesn't work actually.
But I think in certain states you have that culture, right? In terms of, I think Kerala has that culture. You have that culture in Kolkata where there are fans who are going to travel with the team, who are going to, celebrate every single chance they create. They're going to get banners. They're going to chant from start to end. So you think that that culture was never there in Pune, so it was
Uh,
always going to be
if if
hard?
if I remember, even when I was with Pune FC, we used to travel to Goa
Hmm.
or Bombay for the away games.
Yeah.
At least Goa and Bombay, I remember.
Orange
And
Army, I
we
think,
had
was the fan. Orange Army was the fan club.
Pune FC. I'm
Oh,
talking
you're
of
talking about Pune FC.
talking
Okay.
about Pune FC when I was working with Pune FC.
Okay.
I remember going to Cooperage, attending some I League games,
Yeah.
and it was a good experience. But that that fan level, or that no that it was not that frenzied kind of
Yeah.
thing. It was normal stuff. Traveling there, cheering for them, and coming back.
Yeah, I feel the fans didn't really connect with the club in that way, and maybe something like a Kerala Blasters did do with their
Yes.
fans. Maybe I think now coming to FC Pune City, I think they tried doing that. They had these events where they used to invite fans, like for jersey launches or for manager reveal and all that. They had these kind of events. So, do you think that they were headed on the right track? Where do you think, apart from dwindling attendance, things went wrong for FC Pune City?
No, since I was not an internal, when at Pune FC I was an employee.
No, but I'm saying purely as a journalist, like both of us were in the
Hmm.
same boat covering the same team. We were doing it from different angles at different publications, but we still had a basic idea about where things were headed, right? And did you ever get that confidence that they will be an established club in the ISL? Because initially I did get that feeling from them, but then suddenly just things started going. Then you saw news emerging of them, losing sponsors and all of that. So what do you think went wrong with them?
Mm, uh, Whether it's no, for me it can only be not getting the desired return on the investment,
Hmm.
and no cooperation from the federation.
Yeah.
That's what I can think about. But it can be something else. You
Hmm.
never know. But
Yeah. But there are other clubs that are still doing well in the ISL now. What do you think about the merger? Also, I wanted to ask you about that. Like the merger, there's been a lot of talk about it for years, and then finally it happened. But
no, I'm not. I've not been following, man.
but
I've just stopped. I've just stopped after, after 2020.
yeah.
I'm not no longer following.
But do you think it's the right idea? I League, ISL.
We have to look into the all the details. What are the going to be the what is going to be the end result of the merger?
Hmm.
Who's going to benefit? So since I'm not following football as such, I can't comment on
Hmm.
that really.
I think your expertise is mainly in local football
Local,
and
yeah,
in
local.
Pune.
Absolutely.
And there have been I have loved your coverage in terms of the games at school level, that the grassroots level, basically, that those issues have not been given enough attention. And since you did it, I think you started a movement in a way.
No, and not actually. This is all credit goes to my an editor of mine who called Rahul Chandarkar, who was my editor at Sakal Times.
Yeah.
He was the one who inspired us to go cover local sports. Actually, go on the ground and cover.
Hmm.
So if you go on the ground and you get to meet people, people know you, players know you. So there's a connect.
Yeah.
So if anything happens or there's an update or someone is doing good, you come to know directly, and you connect more. You get good coverage.
Yeah. So then, what were like the main issues you felt at the local level in terms of football? Yeah.
No grounds. There are very less grounds,
Yeah.
or whatever grounds were there, they were not like uh, the quality was bad
Hmm.
that time. I don't know about now, but yeah, maybe infrastructure issues.
A lot of infrastructure issue because there's a ground nearby. I wouldn't like to name it, but
Uh,
the quality of the pitches was atrocious, and there was grass which is at least 3 feet long, and they're expecting people to play football in that, and nobody is willing to go on record to criticize the officials because they feel that they are at risk of losing their jobs, and that is why things just keep going on and on and on and on and on. And there are reputed schools that are willing to take that because they know that they are doing well and they cannot be really kicked out. But I feel that more schools, if they do that, things might change. And as journalists, we really try to tackle it. I think you've done a great job with it, and even I've done a few reports on it. And obviously, the federation didn't take too well with that.
yeah, I remember because I remember that we started that movement, and we knew exactly what was wrong with Pune football, and uh, we jumped into it. We wrote about it, and people were not happy. Obviously, if you write something negative, there'll be people who will be in support of you. Who There'll be a group of people who will be against it. But what I have realized is how much ever you write about them, they are not nothing is going to happen. They
Hmm.
will continue the way they want to continue. So it's a closed topic.
But I think as journalists, we still got to fight the good fight, right?
Yes, yes, definitely.
We've got to try doing our best to educate the public.
Definitely, I was actually referring to your article before this,
Hmm.
like
The one I wrote for Hindustan Times,
Hindustan Times, yeah, where was it? Yeah.
Feb 2019. Yeah, I think that was the issue I was talking about, right? The the schools complaining about the lack of good facilities,
Yes.
the officials not. I even got in touch with certain officials and they kept passing the buck. They told me, okay, it's not our responsibility. They sent me to a government authority. Then when I go to the government authority, he's saying it's the responsibility of the people managing the ground. And everyone just kept passing the buck. And then at a certain point, you realize that none of them are taking it seriously. So I think we even ran a front page story on it.
Yeah, so I was referring to this article.
Oh yeah.
So this was like a perfect thing. But even after you've written anything about them, any negatives, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah, I remember
It
getting calls by them asking me why I did it. So I said that I reported facts, and if you guys want to, set the record straight, y'all can say what y'all want to. And then I even, carried their side of the story, but things still didn't change. And I must give credit to the late Rupesh Raj because he's the one who really, pushed me for this, and he really inspired me to fight for these issues because there was nobody fighting for it, obviously apart from you. But that was really good, and I think even you had similar experiences, right? In terms of all of this, you even told me that there was some legal issues and all of that. So would you like to get into those?
actually legal issues was, I remember, after that article was out, a few clubs revolted, and they took they sued the association, and then it's in the courts and it's going on. I'm not
Yeah.
like I have not taken an update from them as such, but yeah, after those series of articles,
Hmm.
uh, people, like players, were aware. They started uh, opposing the way things were
Yeah.
working that time. And then maybe and then what I know was, they sued. They took the association to court, and then the, the fight is still going on.
Yeah, I think they had called all of us to Patrakar Bhavan to tell us about the plans, right? This is what we plan
Yes,
to do.
yes,
I think that
yes,
was the
yes,
start of this
yes,
movement.
yes.
But do you have any update on that? How things have transpired?
I think recently, if as per a Times of India article,
Hmm.
like some special audit, uh, the court has ordered some special audit of the association.
Okay.
That's
When was this?
This is an article, a Times of India article on November 5, 2022.
Okay.
So I don't know what exactly has happened and what did it actually happen, but it reads, in a serious setback to the association, the Joint Charity Commissioner has ordered a special audit
Hmm.
of the accounts.
Yeah.
So, and the order passed on October 17 comes on a case dating back to 2019 when a few clubs had filed a demand, had filed a appeal demanding special audit,
Okay.
which while alleging misappropriation and misapplication of trust money by the officials. So even recently, like I think in SSPMS,
Hmm.
the AFF president had come,
Okay.
and one of our journalists had asked about had questioned the president, Kalyan Chobe, and he
Had nothing to say.
simply ducked the question.
Oh, he ducked the question.
Yeah. And this I'm referring to like a news report on Feb 11, 2023. Like
Okay, very recent.
recently.
What was the purpose of his visit? Just to
That was some other thing.
okay. He was just like invited as a
No, I was not invited. I'm referring to this.
No, I'm
I knew
saying
about
he was invited, yeah.
Yes, I knew about the press con event, but
Yeah.
because of now, since obviously I'm in another profession altogether,
Yeah.
I could not go.
But you still got really amazing contacts in the game. So,
So
I'm
again,
sure
as the article says, that he ducked the question, saying uh, the national body cannot interfere in this matter, and the local association has been accused of not doing anything to promote the sport in the district and has acted with arrogance in the recent past.
wait, so this is his court.
No,
This is the journalist
this is the
saying.
no, this is the
Okay.
article is saying.
Okay.
And the district body is also facing the heat because some clubs have formed a parallel association, and when asked about the current state of the association and how can AFF do to improve the situation, he just ducked the question, saying that it's not the national body's prerogative to interfere in the district body's affairs.
So that's basically passing the buck. The same thing I experienced.
Yes.
That's what they keep doing. You know, they just blame one.
See, he was there. He was there at SSPMS for some in-house function. So this will keep happening. If you go to the association guys, they'll tell that they'll have a list of things that they are doing for the betterment of
Yeah.
football. Then they'll try to prove the other party wrong. If you go to the other party, they'll tell that this is happening.
Yeah, they'll say
And-
we don't have enough funds from the association. They
Yes,
are not.
and this is happening. Both the parties, they have their own sides, and this is going to continue. This has no end.
Yeah, I think if
So-
it was a sport like cricket, maybe things would have been different.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So again, the other day I remember I was talking to owner or a manager of a girls team. He says it's a dead investment.
Yeah.
You're not going to get returns. पैसा खुद का जाता है. It's going to be the same.
I think that is why a lot of people don't even consider taking it up professionally. Like people talk
Yes,
about
yes.
why India is not doing well in terms of football. Well, this is why. If there are such pertaining issues at the grassroots level, how will things improve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So recently I was interviewing I have a podcast of my own where
What's the name of it?
Light It to Light.
Where
I
can-
do it as a hobby.
No, where can we find you?
Spotify.
It's time to plug your podcast.
So
What
you'll
is the
find me
name?
on
What is the name?
Light It to Light, which is inspired by my school anthem. And like you, I interview people who are doing good in various fields.
Yeah.
Not just sports. It can be anyone. It can be anyone.
Hmm.
A chef to a pilot to anyone.
Oh, I would like to speak to the pilot who you've spoken to.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
So, I recently interviewed a girl football player who's played the IWL, and when I asked her about her views on local football, she says there's no support. There are no tournaments for girls.
Yeah.
Like the grassroots itself is like not there.
I think the only tournaments that happen are at school level.
Yes.
Under 14 or under 16, I think that's the last age group. After that, or maybe under 18s, but they have, like FC Pune City, I think had an under 18s team once upon a time for girls. Not sure if they still do.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think. Since they've moved, since they've closed, I don't think.
Yeah, because they had their academy running for a while, but I'm not sure about now. So what else did she tell you? Like what else were the issues?
Yeah, lack of competition, and if you want to play a tournament, you need to go to Bombay, and no support.
I mean, that's the issue. I mean, unfortunately.
Because to create players, you need a platform where you need to play matches around the year.
Hmm.
And if you are going to play just one tournament in a year, that's not the way it should be.
Yeah, and they are not even making any money out of it, right? It's
Yes.
amateur thing. It's not even a
Yes.
semi-professional.
So
or
why will
professional thing.
someone actually invest in the game where there are
Exactly.
no returns?
And I'm seeing these the rise of these private tournaments like these turfs. They
See,
have their own leagues.
yeah, actually, I call it a good thing only. If you see from the past, I think 8 to 9 years, everywhere across Pune, there are a lot of turfs which
Yeah.
have come up. So either people are playing cricket on that, or they're playing football. But actually, the good thing is they're booked.
Yeah.
People, the IT crowd, especially, I had gone to Hinjawadi that day. They finish the shift at 11 and they are there
They are
12
playing
o'clock in the
after that.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing.
Like
And
even
that's a very good
even
thing.
I play a couple of times a week, and for me to like get a turf is pretty difficult. So we have
Yeah.
to really book it in
And
advance.
people are actually paying 1,000 an hour
Yeah,
and playing, which is actually a good thing.
that's actually a good thing, and I feel that if the authorities are not doing anything, it's time for these,
And a lot
turf
of
owners.
local tournaments also keep happening,
Yeah.
which is also a good thing.
And they've got really good grounds as well because they keep maintaining it. It's obviously artificial turf, but they're still really good grounds. It's maintained well. They keep changing the carpets every year, so that's incredible. I feel that is what is needed. It's a different kind of game. Obviously, it's a 5-a-side, 7-a-side game. There are very few proper 11. I think there's one at Bavdan Hotfoot. I think
There are a lot.
no, I'm talking about the 11-a-side one,
Okay.
which is like specially created.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. I've heard about it.
yeah. So that's a really good ground. There's one in Kondwa which is called Sports Galaxy. That's a 9-a-side one. So I think they are.
So I think the only hope is these private entities coming forward, organizing tournaments. So at least people who are working, or students or college going students who want to play, they'll get that
Yeah.
opportunity.
And they even get sponsorships. Like I played this Pune Club tournament. They had a lot of sponsors. It was being broadcast on YouTube as well. So I think that is the way maybe the sport is going to grow. But I don't know if that's going to really inspire people because this is people playing it casually, right?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. So for things to change, things need to improve at when they are 6 and 7. They need to be put into these academies. What do you think about Shivajians? Because they still have their academy going. They have people going. What do you think about how the club's been running? They played in
No,
the
I've not been following them.
but they
so-
played in the I League for
Yeah,
a
they yeah, I used to like follow them as a journalist before when they played in the I League, but not anymore. If you talk about local football, yes, I've been following them for the for the controversies which have been happening, but game wise, who is doing what? Since the past few years, I've not been following up on them.
But do you think because of the controversies, the team is like the focus has been drifted away from the team? Like all DSK's focus has been towards all the controversies, and they've not been able to put enough attention to football.
No idea.
You don't want to comment on that. That's fine. But I felt that Shivajians looked promising in terms of when they started out in the I League. They had a good plan. You've been to their facility in Loni, I think.
Yes, I had been there.
Yeah.
There was a event where they had the Liverpool Academy
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
and then there was a Liverpool player who had come. I think you had come for that event.
Yeah.
I don't remember the player's name, but
same,
it
even
was
I'm-
people had come from far and wide just to meet that player, and
Yeah.
then there were trainings there, so it seemed a very good setup.
Yeah, they have got
But unfortunately, due to various things,
Yeah.
they had to shut down. Then I think we had Bharat FC who
Yeah.
had played the I League. They had to shut shop too. Jokingly, we all used to say that the Sahara Pune Warriors started the trend where no sports team has actually
Done well in Pune. Yeah.
No, it's all that jinx started with Pune Warriors.
Yeah, Pune Warriors India.
They started and then they shut, and then there are a lot of teams who came and then went away.
Yeah, but I think the IPL is a different thing because they have certain teams they want, and Pune was filling in for Chennai and RR when they were not there, and now when they came back, Pune had to go out. obviously, when Pune Warriors India was there were 10 teams. Kochi also was the another team, and then they went back to 8, and now they've
Yeah.
gone
So
back
Pune,
to 10.
the Pune Jinx.
Yeah, it is the Pune
In
Jinx.
future also, I think, I don't think any team is going to.
Which team do you have the most hope from? I think the Kabaddi team was doing well. Did they make a
I think last
final?
edition they did well.
Yeah.
And then Puneri Paltans.
Puneri
Yeah.
Paltans, yeah.
So back in Sakal times, I remember traveling a lot for PKL. But again, after Corona, that glamour, and then I think the money which they spent earlier before Corona, post Corona, I think it was cut off.
Because Kabaddi, there were a lot of people going to the stadiums also. I used to remember it used to be completely packed.
The atmosphere I have seen I've traveled to, say, Chennai, Bangalore, Patna, Delhi, Chandigarh. Amazing atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was the same stadium they had the basketball league as well, the same setup, and that was empty. Like there was no interest in the basketball league. They ran for a couple of years and then they shut. So they've tried these different leagues. Pune has never done well. They made the IPL final when it was the Rising Pune Super Giants. They lost to Mumbai in the final. But apart from that, no other teams really done well, right?
No one.
It's crazy. Which other teams were there? I think there was a hockey team also, right? You used to cover hockey, Pimpri.
Yes. There was this one event, big tournament which had happened, but again, it was there for 1 year.
That's what I mean. Local sports, if it's not cricket, it's really difficult. But are you following the local cricket scene here?
No, man. Now, since I'm all now busy interviewing MDs and CEOs of manufacturing automation companies.
Man, you've become a big man.
No, man.
Now sports is too
I'm
small for
I'm
you.
all into. I've left frontline journalism long back, and I'm all into, manufacturing and automation journalism. All into the B2B space. So Monday to Friday I'm working. Saturday, Sunday I don't want to even I'm not even interested to go to a stadium and watch a match. No, man. I've done enough.
But maybe that's the quality of sports here. If there was a good football match happening, supposing India is playing, you would probably go for that.
Recently, Backstreet Boys performed in Mumbai. I had gone for it. That's what interests me now.
Okay, so you've moved away from sports and you've got different passions now.
Yes, you can say, but sports definitely no.
So you don't even...
Actually, if given a chance, if you tell me, it's a Saturday and some matches happening, I would definitely want to come and watch a match.
Yeah.
Be it football, cricket, or also maybe interview someone.
Okay.
Because that was our passion for so many years.
Yeah.
Maybe on a Saturday, Sunday, if given a chance, I would want to interview someone, a sports person, or watch a match. I would definitely do that, but not get into the depth of it.
Okay.
As you mentioned before, covering a match is okay. Giving a match report is okay. But, interviewing someone, talking about challenges they face,
exactly.
That's a more interesting thing. So
because
reporting,
because anyone who wants the match, who can read the match report, can look at the highlights.
Absolutely.
Or they can watch the match. So why will they want to read the match report? As journalists, we need to give them something that they don't have access to.
Covering a local tournament also is a very normal thing. There were times when I have gone to cover a match, and then once I came to know that the referee who's officiating, he's a rickshaw driver.
Yeah.
So that interested me. I eventually managed to get his interview, publish it, and in my own way I was helping him. He was happy, he got his publicity.
Exactly, and it's a very good story also, right? People like to read about such things. They don't want constant match reports and all of that.
Yeah. So whole day, I came to know he drives a rickshaw and his passion is football, so he's officiating as a referee.
Okay. So that's nice.
That was an interesting story I did. So something like this I would definitely like to do even now, but thanks, because of my profession and all, I don't get the time.
Yeah. But about this rickshaw driver, what got him into the game? How did he find out about it?
It's been years, man. He used to play. He was a player before, and then he got into refereeing. It's been years I've interviewed him. I don't even remember his name.
But these are really good stories, no?
Yes.
And I'm sure one guy's name you will not forget is Mr. Sunil Chhetri, who's become your friend over the years.
No, man, it's fake.
No, man,
friend.
I like to tease you about it.
It's fake, man.
But what is the experience of interviewing him? I've done it like a couple of times, and he seems like a really
Yeah.
genuine
I've
person.
interviewed him when he used to be in Pune.
Hmm.
Not many times, twice, thrice, and interviewing him is a big thing.
Yeah, but what do you think of him as like a person in terms of interviewing?
Normal, man. We've interviewed a lot of people.
That's true.
He's just one amongst the list.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about
Him. But I feel he's like really down to earth. He's a good person
Yeah.
to speak to.
Yeah.
And he's not shy of tackling the hard issues. Like if you ask him a tricky question, he's not going to evade it. Which I feel a lot of players are media trained. They don't do that. So do you think he's
Of recently, there are people, even the players have been trained. How do you answer a question? How do you duck the question?
Yeah,
So it's a part of the game now. So
that is a part of
yeah.
the game. That's true. But I feel
So
that
for me, even if it is Sunil Chhetri or even it is an actor, even it's a politician, all are the same.
yeah.
So I have no special memory about any player or anyone. So it's a job.
So you don't have any like noteworthy interview that stood out to you,
No, not really.
like something really big that made headlines or something that way.
No, not really.
Or you just don't want to say because you've told me that off the record.
Uh,
But tell me about this new job of yours. Like you've stuck to interviewing people, but it's a different
so
kind of.
it's into the B2B space. We publish. It's a German company.
Mhm.
In India, we call Publish Industry India. Back in Germany, we call Publish Industry Verlag.
Okay.
So we publish two magazines, Efficient Manufacturing, which revolves around manufacturing, and the second magazine is Automation and Digitization, which revolves around automation and digitization.
Okay.
So A&D is a bi-monthly magazine, EM is a monthly magazine.
All right.
So everything into manufacturing and all technical stuff.
So your contribution to that is
So-
you're at the back end.
So we are at the back end interviewing people, preparing the right interviews, coordinating with the designer, getting the proper layout. And since I don't come from an engineering background.
Yeah.
So obviously, CNC machines, automation, engineering stuff, I'll not be able to, I don't know that stuff. So
Yeah.
my job is to get these articles from the company people, check it grammatically, collate it properly, and see to it that it's designed properly. The
Okay.
magazine comes out on time.
Okay.
So it's been a fantastic journey. I get to travel, I get to interview people, and interviewing MDs and CEOs, it's kind of tough. You need to ask proper questions, but since I have a journalism background of more than 10 years,
Yeah.
now I'm used to it.
Now you're used to it.
Yeah.
But do you still get intimidated before, supposing you're interviewing a really big MD or something? Are you nervous?
Sometimes, yes. See, again, I've been a print journalist all my life.
Yeah.
I still can't face the camera.
You are
If-
facing the camera today, and you're doing a pretty good job
yeah.
at it.
So, if I have to ask him a one-on-one question, I can talk to him the whole day.
Yeah.
But the moment there's a camera, maybe I will get the shivers, but maybe one day I'll overcome that.
Yeah.
We've
So maybe this podcast can be a learning experience for you.
definitely, man.
So you're saying there's a lot of traveling. So where all have you been
Within India.
within India?
Yeah.
But which cities?
Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore.
Okay. So it's a lot of traveling.
No, not lot of. When we when companies invite us, they want to invite us to their manufacturing facilities. We go, we cover
Mm-hmm. So in a way, you're still a journalist, but in a slightly different way.
different
Yeah.
atmosphere.
I feel that
So
journalism.
I'm not into frontline journalism. I'm at the back end into the B2B space.
Yeah. But you're the one interviewing people.
Yes.
So you're writing the articles or is someone else writing those?
Yes, I have the option to write articles. I write the interviews,
Mhm.
but the technical articles we get it sourced from the
The experts,
companies.
basically.
We call them authored articles, which
Okay.
they give.
All right. And this magazine is a bi-monthly thing, you said.
Two magazines. One is a bi-monthly and one is a monthly.
Okay. And they are, is it online or is it hard copy as well?
It's hard copy as well.
Okay. And do they have their website where you can read?
Yes.
Okay. So
It's-
are all articles, yeah, go ahead.
So it's published in www.piindia.com.
Okay. And are all articles available for free or are there any paid articles or something like
No,
that?
as of now, everything is available for free.
Okay. And how long have you all been in the field? The company as a
The
whole?
company has been operational since 14 years.
Okay.
I have joined since it's my 8th month,
Okay.
so still learning.
But they are headquartered in Munich, you
Munich,
said.
yeah.
And when did they set up shop in India?
14 years back.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Like when they set up there, they set
No,
up.
no, no. Germany is might be an older one, but in India,
Oh,
they're
in
14
India
years
it's 14
old, yeah.
years. Okay, so it's a pretty well established. Do they have
Established.
headquarters anywhere else in India?
No, we're only based in Pune.
Only based in Pune. And
Yes.
how big is your setup here?
We've
How many employees?
just a small company, man. 10 of us.
So you liking this?
Yeah, I mean, 3 to 4 people actually in the editorial team.
Mhm.
We come out with 2 magazines, which is a decent
Okay.
number.
And subscriptions, it's a subscription based model.
Yes, so the print copy, it's a subscription based, but online, anyone can register and can get to read the magazine.
Okay.
But again, these kind of magazines, the common man will
Man
not
will not, yeah.
will not find any interest. People related to this field will definitely read it.
So what is your target audience?
All the manufacturing companies, man.
Like all of them,
All of
their
them.
their CEOs, their employees,
yeah.
all of those kind of things.
Yes.
So how do you all reach out to a different audience? Like what are
Since this company is in operation since 14 years, they've already had a major chunk of audience. And now with digital revolution coming in, websites, video interviews, podcasts, we're getting into podcasts.
Nice.
And, we are reaching the audience.
Okay.
They have already they have their audience is already set.
They have their plan in place.
Yes.
Yeah. But so are you part of the podcast team also, or that is completely
No,
different?
that is a different team. But yeah, if at all I have to maybe travel to one location, I'm interviewing some person. I can have the camera with me, and I myself can interview, and we can take it forward.
Okay. And speaking about podcasts and your podcast, what made you start that?
My personal podcast.
Your personal podcast.
Earlier, actually, I was into travel blogging. I was travel blogging with a friend of mine. Unfortunately, we were not in touch, and due to lives getting busier, I decided let's do something of my own.
Yeah.
And travel blogging was on my mind, but I was not post Corona. I was not traveling that much, and I thought that let's do something, and let's do something alone, because we don't have to depend on someone else. And then one day I was sitting and I was reading about podcasts, and I googled equipments to be used in a podcast, and then I was like, like some cheap option will be there. And I was like, I read a blog where blogger is like, you can start a podcast even with the cheapest, even with your phone.
Yeah.
So what I did was, since I had an iPhone which quality recording is good, and I read about some apps, and I invested in wireless mics, and I started it.
So what was your plan? What kind of people did you want to
I
talk
just
to?
wanted to interview people first. I mean finding a name was actually hard for me. Whatever name I thought of and I typed it, already taken. Literally, I have tried all combinations and taken. Finally, I was like, I have almost gave up on the name, and I thought of, yeah, let's give it some random name and just let's start. But I was like, no, this will remain an identity.
Yeah.
So I thought of the school I was. The motto was lighted to light, and I was like, yeah, this will be a very nice name for the podcast. And I randomly typed it to see its availability, and it was available. So immediately I just
Registered.
and I started. And I was like, my motive was like, anyone doing good in any field, let's go interview that person, and
Yeah.
light it to light.
Light it to light, yeah.
You enlighten others with your experience. That's about it.
So that's St. Ursula's, right?
Yes.
It's it's in Nigadi, right?
Nigadi, yeah.
So you've been there throughout your schooling days.
Yes.
Okay. So what was your experience there? Like that side of town, I don't really know the schools, how good they are, but this is one of the names I know because I had a couple of friends going there.
Yeah, school life It's
School life was always fun.
good, except the studies. Everything was good
And you
for
seem
all of us.
and you seem like quite a brat in school, so I'm sure.
I was always on the basketball court, man.
Oh yeah, you used to play a lot of basketball as well.
Yes.
Do you still do that?
No, man. Now I don't have time. It's only once in a while I go for a Saturday Sunday if I get time.
Hmm.
I go for a walk on. There's a place called Durga Tikadi in my area.
Okay.
A mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I go there. I walk. I come back. Otherwise, in our routine lives now, it's all about partying, hanging out, having beer, and that's about it. But now I've started like I used to cycle a lot in between in the lockdown period.
Yeah.
But after office has started and all, the cycle is untouched. So I've given it off.
But how far is your office from where you stay?
Quite far.
Which area is it in?
Near Pune station.
Oh, that's pretty far.
Pretty far.
Yeah, so it takes you at least
Yeah.
an hour and a
So
half.
and
every
because
day.
of the metro work going on,
Yeah.
while going, it's it's massive.
But do you think after the metro comes, you'll probably use it?
No. I'll still use my bike
Why?
because for people like us in our profession, you have an event, you have to travel to an event, or
Yeah.
all of a sudden somebody is calling you for an interview, so you have to rush.
Yeah.
So that time you can't use public transport. So
But if it's a planned thing, like you're going to work at a certain
Yeah.
time, then you probably can.
probably in future, if the connectivity is good, maybe I will.
Is there I think there is a line in Pradikaran also, right?
No.
They're not planning one
No,
there?
not
So
now.
what is the closest line to where you are?
I think Pimpri.
Okay. And how
So
far?
it's far.
So
So
that is also far.
the metro is not an option for me as of now.
Don't worry, it soon will be, hopefully. But yeah, any final thoughts? I mean, thanks for coming. You were shy. I know you were hesitating
Yes, man.
to
This
come.
was like this is the first time I'm facing the camera actually, and it was a good experience.
I know, man. And you said you wanted to have me on your podcast. I would love to do it.
Yes, man. Definitely.
Light it to light. I'll light your podcast to light.
Yes, man.
What
So
would you
what-
want to? What would you want to talk to me about on the podcast?
We will decide that whenever you agree. For that also, it's just an audio podcast, so we can meet
Wherever.
in the city limits.
In the city limits, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, this is the city limits. I don't know where you stay out of the city limits.
Man. For me, Shivaji Nagar is the city center for me.
That's the city center
For
for
me,
you.
it's the perfect place to catch up.
Yeah, so perfect. We can find a good spot. We can have the podcast there,
Yeah, definitely.
and we'll light it to light for sure.
Yeah.
But before we sign off, can you tell everyone how to reach you on Twitter, on Instagram?
Yes. So on Twitter, I'm at Sanjay 17 Jadhav. On Instagram, my username is Sanjay 17 Jadhav.
Okay, and your company website, the magazine, if they want to subscribe and all of that.
Yes. It's log on to www.piindia.com and you can subscribe to there.
Okay, and any final thoughts? Because you've been an amazing guest.
Yes,
I hope you
thank you
had
so much.
fun.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure talking to you. It was a pleasure actually going down memory lane. I don't know, Josh, me what I have spoken. You need to look upon that. It was a good. I had a good time going down memory lane and revisiting the journalism days, especially local football.
Yeah.
Talking about the issues and my current life. And thank you so much. I'm actually looking forward to the podcast when it'll go live.
Yeah,
I'll be sharing it for
You'll
sure.
be the first one, and please share it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone listening also, please share it, guys. I need to reach a certain target. You guys know about it.
Yes, also like I'll be telling my friends to follow you.
Perfect, man. That's just what we need. We should just keep spreading
Yeah.
the word around, because I think podcast is a growing industry, but in Pune it's not really that prevalent.
Yeah.
So I think if more of us keep
We'll
doing it-
collaborate. We should also actually collaborate
Yeah,
on
we were
many
talking
podcasts, man.
about that
Ah.
also. So let's not give away
Let's-
names,
yeah.
but once it's out there, we can.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we should definitely collaborate podcasts, because we have really interesting people to talk to.
Yes, definitely.
And you
And since both of us have a journalism background, the wavelength matches, and you
Yeah.
know what questions to ask the other person.
Yeah. And we sometimes we both come from different paths. We tackle a certain question in a certain way, so we can always get a different reaction out of the person
Definitely,
also.
definitely.
Yeah. So we definitely will do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's it. Thanks a lot, and thank you everyone for listening. And please subscribe, hit the bell icon on YouTube. We are on Spotify. We'll soon be on Google Podcasts, Apple Music. But thanks everyone, and see you.